Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Saturday, May 20th, 2017 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi, and our energy mantra for today is I invite in conscious connection. And today we have the sun shifting into Gemini, bringing in the energy of connection, bringing in a mental energy. But I really want to focus on the consciousness that we can attune to in and through mental energy. Before we get all into the whole Gemini lot, let's look at the final aspects of the sun in Taurus. So I want to mention the astro, the way it works. It is perfect stepping stones from one thing into the next. So Taurus builds up our worth, helps us attune to our talents so that when we get to Gemini, we can express ourselves. We can bring forth our talents. We can play with our talents. We can connect to others in and through this talents because we know our worth. So that's really the focus of the morning, working with that Taurus energy just to finish up and to really own our worth, really hold ourselves in the bubble of self-love, in the bubble of I know my worth. I know that I am this godly creature. I know I'm this divine creature. And I know I'm made of stardust, and yet I am humble because I'm also made of dirt. Really connecting into that energy. And as we finish up Taurus, we are we're moving through the moon in Pisces still. So the lazy cat thing that I've been talking about the last few days, that still applies. Taurus finishing up Pisces energy, you may feel just really slow. Nothing's wrong with slow. Slow and steady wins the race. Really honor yourself, honor your worth, to honor yourself and whatever your need is in and through these last few hours. Anytime the sun or the moon, anything shifts, there can be a little bit of a wonky energy. I always liken it to, a plane when it changes its speed that it's going in the air and you kind of feel the way that it moves. That's what it feels like to me, the planetary transitions. Like, oh, something just happened. So, honor whatever your need is in and through this energy. And remember the sensual energy of Taurus. Chances are part of your needs will be a little extra water to deal with the transition, some food to help ground you in, a little bit of nature time, maybe some sensual touch, smelling some good things, a good bath. There's so many things that you can do to show yourself love, to amp up that worth energy, to make this next step so that you are ready to express yourself. So moon in Pisces is making two connections before the sun shifts into Gemini. The moon in Pisces will be connecting to Pluto and will be connecting to Mars. So the moon is sextiling Pluto. And I actually think this came up in the cards because what I have is I do have the past life card. And Pluto retrograde right now may be attuning us to some of the past life energy, as well as the moon in Pisces, which absolutely can attune us to the energy. Now, what I'm feeling with this is that it may be some of these old patterns of control that we are being able to break free from, break through from, by really honoring our worth. So just notice if there's any patterns that you used to participate in that are old, whether they are ancestral or whether they are past life patterns that are coming up for you. How do you break free and really be authentic in your expression of who you are right now in this moment? The moon square Mars, that may bring up a little bit more of that. Mars in Gemini, any Gemini energy really wants that connection. However, the mutable energies, both of these energies are mutable. A lot of times it will chameleon itself to fit in. This is saying, hey, you can nurture yourself and still nurture this connection. Find the balance in nurturing yourself and nurturing the connection, and break through the feeling that you have to be somebody else in order to get along, in order for momentum and movement to happen. Now, Sun in Gemini, conscious connection. So I was sitting here, just feeling through the energies. What is going to be this topic? And this is what came up, connection. Remembering that we are connected to everything. Gemini is one of the best energies at seeing that and living that. Gemini, I'm a Gemini rising, so I'm very in touch with this Gemini energy. Gemini can twin anything. Gemini can make the connection to anything. If you could be inside my brain for a second, you would see things going here, 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 all of these lines connecting rapidly. It works so much faster than my mouth. If you think I'm a fast talker, you should see my brain, because I'm a really fast thinker. But that's what's always happening. There are these connections, these synapses being made. So Gemini can recognize the connection between things. Gemini is the most curious, I think, of the signs. Gemini wants to know who, how, where, when, how, why. I may have said a few of those over and over again, but who, what, where, when, how, why. Is that what it is? I think that covers all of them. Gemini wants to know and is not afraid to ask the questions and is not afraid to look into it. If the curiosity is piqued in a Gemini, they will make that look. So here, or they will go looking for, the answer with that. So here we are inviting in the conscious connections, asking the universe to show us these conscious connections so we can see what's really going on. Now, what I think is important to recognize in Gemini is that pattern of mutability. Gemini is a mutable sign, which means it's changeable. Gemini energy, which we all have somewhere within us, even if you don't have a planet in Gemini in your chart, Gemini does fit in your chart in one certain place. So Gemini energy is in us all, even to the most minute, little part. So notice where you may find yourself chameleoning, and where the chameleon may not necessarily be what you need to do, may not be how you will make this conscious connection. Instead, I really feel like it's time to, you'll recognize the adage, all the world's a stage, and we all make our entrances and exits and play many parts over the time. But are you honoring your part? To me, this means you don't have to pick up somebody else's script and read their script. You don't have to play their part. You also don't have to be the understudy for anybody else. This play does not have understudies. You're the main star. You are the star of your life. So this is about really honoring your personal play, how you are showing up, and not needing to wear masks that belong to others, but really keep embodying your personal fearless expression. That will come up a little bit later. Gemini is the sign of communication. So this is a time to have the freedom to communicate who you are. And we're really lucky in general, especially if you are living in a free place, which, United States, Europe, it's very free to be able to express yourself. So honor that by being willing, show the universe, thanks for giving me this ability to express myself, by expressing yourself, by communicating your truth, if only to yourself and your closest friends. It doesn't have to be to the world, but really honor that communication, because that will be part in making these conscious connections, which will be our theme over these next 30 days. I want to do mention one other thing in this chart, and then I'm going to go through every sign and what our conscious connection theme is for the next month. So to finish up, after the sun shifts into Gemini, which means it'll be at 0 degrees, so, give yourself some space to be in the zero, to be in the wholeness of the moment, to allow the universe to download some of these energies in and through you. But the moon is also going to square Saturn. So this means we've got a lot of this mutable energy going on. And there's a bit, it's not really exact, but there's a bit of a mutable T-square, which can make us a little curious. Which way am I going to go? Keep going in the direction that the consciousness of the universe is connecting you into. Let the universe guide you. And if your sign is, I need to rest, then show up for yourself in that way and rest. This connection between the moon and Saturn is 26 degrees. That is an 8. It is asking you, how are you showing up? How you are showing up will help the universe keep directing you into the place where you want to go. So really honor yourself in and through that. Honor, like I said, the conscious connections coming through. Now, before I get to the cards, I'm going to go through sign by sign and just very little hint of what you will be working through, consciously connecting into over this next month. So Gemini, you are consciously connecting to your I am vibration. Now, Gemini, sun signs or risings, technically, until you hit your rising degree or your birthday, you are in 12th house energy. So you still may have a little of that, I'm in the flow, I'm in surrender energy. That's okay. Keep working into the consciously connecting to your I am and showing up in that authenticity and knowing that you don't have to be This will make sense in a little bit. You don't have to be a koi fish anymore. You can be the dragon, the dragon that you are, or whatever it is that you are. You don't have to be a dragon. You can be a meerkat or a marmoset or a monkey if you want. All the animals. Anyways, who are you? Consciously connect your I am. Taurus. Taurus, Gemini is second house for you. So you get another round of this worth work. Second house is worth energy. So consciously connecting to your worth, consciously making the connections to your talents, consciously connecting to the view of abundance. Now, again, Gemini energy can get very mental and it can get very monkey-minded. You may hear, you are going to hear many times through this month, go take your monkey out for a walk. Really pay attention with how you think about yourself and how you think about money over this next month, Taurus, because this is really going to feed into your abundance or prosperity consciousness, which we started working on during Taurus time. Aries, this is your third house. This is the house of communication. Aries in general, I see, are willing to express themselves, but just really notice, are you expressing yourself authentically, or is there a little bit of that, oh, I'm going to put on this mask just to get along kind of thing? Really notice what is the state that you're coming from in this third house energy, and who are you showing up as in this moment? Who am I? Am I being me? Aries in general is, good at the I am thing, but being that Gemini does rule your third house, you may find yourself falling into communication patterns that don't quite honor that. Pisces, this is your fourth house, emotions, family, foundation. So really consciously connecting to your emotions, letting them flow. I was talking to one of my favorite Pisces earlier today, and she was like, I was cleaning and there were emotions. And I was like, wow, you got Gemini a little bit early. Here's your fourth house. Welcome to the fourth house. So really allowing these things to come through. Now recognize Gemini energy does have a very fun vibration to it, so it's not always going to have to be heavy. So, maybe make it a little Snow White kind of thing, whistle while you work if you get into that house cleaning mode. How do you consciously connect to the fun of the fourth house? Because this is your foundation from which everything stems from and grows from. So work strong with this energy because it's working for you. Aquarius, Gemini for you is the fifth house, creativity and the inner child. So consciously connecting to your creativity, consciously connecting to your inner child, making conscious decisions to connect with those who make you laugh, who make you play, who bring you that joy. And see how that can lighten you up and expand you. And also consciously connect to the way the universe is trying to talk to your inner child. The universe is always talking to my inner child by like fuzzy animals. So watch for the bunnies hopping along your path. Or maybe there's squirrels and chipmunks, that too. But pay attention to that. Connect into that childlike nature. Capricorn, Gemini is sixth house for you, consciously connecting to your physical body and the messages your physical body has for you, showing up for your health, showing up for your well-being, noticing what's going on in your world. Now, Capricorn can be another one that Capricorn wants to look like everything's, under and in control. And so sometimes Capricorn will put on the mask like, I've got it all under control, when it's really not. You can also consciously connect into, this situation can use a little healing. I know that it's going to turn out perfectly, but this could use, my reality needs a little infusion of some good things, of some healing. Don't be afraid to work with that energy. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have it all under control. And sometimes it's in letting go of that control. Cards. Sometimes it's in letting go of that control that you really step up into that place that you want to be. Sagittarius, Gemini is seventh house, consciously connecting to your relationships and making the connections between the relationships in your life, the connections between your friendships and your parents, or your love relationships and your parents, or the relationship you have with yourself and others. Keep noticing those connections. Sagittarius is usually pretty good at seeing patterns. I'm a Sagittarius. I notice the patterns of things, but this is a really good time to consciously connect to it. It's also a great time to consciously connect to that which you want to bring into this vibration, into your relationship vibration, into your personal balance. So utilize this mental energy in that way. Scorpio, eighth house for you. Eighth house is the house of Scorpio. My leg's falling asleep and I can't kick my cat out of the way to move it so it doesn't Give me pins and needles. Okay, Scorpio, 8th house. This is your house. So this is consciously connecting to the vibration of empowerment. In order to get to empowerment, there's always some kind of transformation, a level of transformation that needs to be gone through. So connecting into what in your life needs to consciously phoenix, consciously transform. Where are you maybe holding yourself back from the power that you can step into? And so really noticing where your mind feeds into this. Scorpio can really go to those dark places, and while there is need to go to those dark places, we don't need to stay in those dark places. So if there are any of those shadow energies, this is a great time to work with your consciousness to shift, transform, and ultimately empower yourself. Libra energy, this is your 9th house. This is about consciously connecting to the world, consciously connecting to higher knowledge around the world. This is a great time to remember that as much as you know, there's always so much more to learn, to know. So really connecting to the universe and be like, all right, I don't know, but I'm willing to find out and see what kind of connections and knowledge and wisdom the universe brings you in and through that. Virgo, Gemini is your 10th house. Whew, it's a lot. Gemini is the 10th house, which is the house of legacy and career. So making a conscious connection to what it is. What is your mission? What is your sole purpose? And connecting into that. Even if your current career is not that, how do you take baby steps? Doesn't have to be all at once, Virgo. How do you take baby steps into consciously working in what your soul mission is, what your soul purpose is, and bring that into your daily life? I believe in every day and every way we are moving into our soul mission, some of us more slowly than others, but I do believe everything that happens does serve us. So remember that, Virgo, as you're moving through this energy, but keep bringing in the consciousness and connect in. And if you feel like you're so far away from what it is you want to do, ask the universe to consciously connect you to how you actually are already working with that energy and how you also can bring it in if you have no idea how. Virgo, use that mental energy that you are attuned to. Leo, 11th house. Oh, I love this. 11th house. 11th house to me, it's a house of friendship. So consciously connecting to like-minded people, to community, to tribe. There is that vibration. But I really love connecting 11th house to the divine mind. So consciously connecting to your guides, to energies beyond which are helping bring you forward. Consciously connect. I always mention that I have my team on the other side. My dad, George Michael, Rumi, Dr. Wayne Dyer, as well as, many others. Mary Magdalene's on that team. Connecting with your team and let that divine mind help shift your consciousness. You will be on the leading edge this month, Leo. And then finally, Cancer. Gemini is 12th house for you. So consciously connecting to your flow, consciously connecting to surrender, and possibly even consciously connecting to, here it is in the cards again, any past life energy, any karmic energy that needs to be processed and allowing it to move through. I know Cancer is not afraid to feel it, to heal it. So this is really going to be your methodology throughout this month, Cancer, really showing up consciously for whatever wants to come through for you to be released into, so you can step into your glory and into your power and into your I am next month with Cancer. That being said, that was a lot. I think that I'm going to be using multiple cards through Gemini, but I'm starting with the Oracle of the Shapeshifter because shapeshifting is so chameleon-like. It is so Gemini, but this message that I got here, it's so perfect. It sums it up so well. It's mermaid in a koi pond. Rediscover your individuality. Become the dragon. And I have to mention, this card is a 5. It's 41, which is a 5. And 5 is the degree. It is the number of the Gemini energy, the Mercury energy. So I want to tell you where this koi thing, here we go. It talks about the koi into the dragon. So this mermaid is going to transform into the dragon maid. The koi represents the urge to seek out the dragon self. The Japanese believe that koi are dragons yet unmade. The koi are very brave creatures. They have enough power to forge their way upstream, even leaping through the waterfalls. I'm a downstream kind of person, but whatever works for the koi. And once they pass this great test, as the mermaid does, then they will grow into their dragon selves. So, what this divination is saying in here, due to a time of camouflage, masks, stasis, and dormancy, you have forgotten who you are. Now you have outgrown what once was safe. What once was a safe haven, and it's time to move on. You are stagnating in your current position and circumstances. There must be fresh water brought in because there's no longer enough room for you to grow. It is time to break free. Please be right there. Time to break free. And take the next challenge. Energy that you feel you lack at the moment will flow to you. You will have great courage within you, and you are much more than you seem to be at this present. You are this dragon. You must take a great journey to find the place where you will prosper, flower, and grow into your dragonhood, and you will be most successful and most important, and a great mentor once you have undertaken your climb. Begin now. So we have that from the Shapeshifters, and to finish up, I know this is long, but a lot of stuff. One last sacred creator, and it's so perfect. Fearless expression. Your soul laid bare, showing off your talents, your beauty, self-confidence, knowing your heart song and singing it clearly, accepting your value, self-worth, finding your courage, and the fearless expansion of your joy. How perfect is this to bridge Taurus into Gemini? Fearlessly expressing because you know your worth and because you worked on your talents over this next month. You are now ready to bring it forth and express yourself. You are ready to bravely share your mission and your story with the world, and people will respond positively to your ideas at this time. Work on expressing yourself confidently, clear self-expression and confidence. Clear self-expression and self-worth go hand in hand. So self-worth to expression. Here we go. And I have to mention this card is 55, which again is that Mercury degree. So it all fits. Everything is working beautifully for all of us. So that is it for today. Book a reading if you want to dive deeper in. I'm going to be announcing a sale in just a few days. I'm just figuring out the details of that. So stay tuned for that. But I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.